this is one thing that I have on my mind to talk about is you know, getting a job is easy. You get the job, and all you have to do is show up to make money, put your life on autopilot, and we want so bad for someone to tell us what to do because it automates life on a level that CEOs like me and maybe you, to be the chief of a business means that you run the show. There's no like wise owl on your shoulder telling you what to do. Is you are the wise owl. And you realize more than ever when you cross a certain threshold in business, whether if it's a billion, like I just crossed a billion the other day, is like I have to become sort of an enigma. You have to be sort of an enigma, which currently I am not. I'm a very low level expert in business, high level, intermediate, low level expert. Is like every day when you work on your business, or if you're building a business, or if you have an existing business, you have to commit provocative and proactive action to get money coming into your bank account. There's no boss telling you what to do. You decide what's best for your company. And mostly, I think the highest level people in the world are the people that realize the most how human we really are. You look at Steve Jobs as being like an enigma, a master, a puppet master of how to build a multi-$100 billion company, or now Apple is like over $1 trillion company. But when we start out, we're really just as human as everyone else. But we have to become that enigma. We have to become sort of like this mystical pink dragon in the sky that the never ending story fucking dragon thing that like. But when I'm taking a shit, it's because Steve Jobs still has to take a fucking shit, right? When I stub my toe out of bed in the morning, um, it's like I realize more than anyone else how human I really am. I realize that maybe I can become this sort of enigma, this all-seeing eye, the infinite intelligence of business, but currently I am not. I think I'd be a cool person to work for. I think I'm an authority in my business just fine. I think I'm an authority in my business just fine. I can be an authority, but the highest level people in the world, I think we realize more than ever how human we really are. The more you learn, the more you earn. The more you learn, the more you become that like echo and that enigma that echoes throughout your entire company. But for me, I'm 30 years old. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing sometimes. And I'm probably not going to be that enigma until I'm like, 50, you know. Uh, or maybe I am already an enigma. I don't know. It's like there's not really much to it. My business plan is just to shove my marketing down my customers' throats as much as I can to get people coming to my business as much as I can. I'm worth somewhere between 700 million and $12 billion. I call myself like a low-level billionaire. I just became a billionaire the other day. You know, You have to become that enigma. It doesn't just, you're not born that enigma. You have to become that by learning, and you have to study your own memory bank to figure out what you already know, and then you have to fill in the gaps of what you need to know to be that enigma, because no one respects a boss that doesn't have that authority. You know, you have to have that fist, that iron fist. You have to have that stone fist, that authority that says, I'm qualified to tell you what the fuck to do. When half the time, for the first 10 years of my career, I'd have people working for me that were no better than I, you know. And I learned you got to pay people properly. You can't pay people too much, and you can't pay people too little. You know, back when the minimum wage was like $7, I would have my friend working for me for like $7 an hour, and he was a shitty employee, and we stopped being friends because he was a shitty employee for me. I guess he wasn't my friend after all. It's an energy thing. Becoming an enigma is like an energy thing, you know. Is like you have to earn the right to be able to have that solid authority, that when you're talking to someone, and if you feel a little uncomfortable, like if they don't have the authority to, you know, you earn that authority to be able to tell people what to do. Me being a 30-year-old CEO, I've had to realize, like, no one wants to be bossed around by a 30-year-old guy. You have to earn that privilege. Usually, probably will take me about 20 more years to officially be able to boss around everybody in my company. If I have 1,000 employees, or a few hundred, or a few thousand employees, you know, you earn the right to be able to tell people what to do, you know. And it takes trial and error, it takes failures, and it takes lost employees. You'd be surprised at how many times I've offered someone 6 figures a year to do a very simple job, or like a million or two a year to do like a very simple job, and they don't want to work. Is like they don't respect me as an authority, or they don't respect you as an authority when you're paying them good money that you earned all by yourself. I built this foundation all by myself, but have really very little experience in telling people what to do. I'm finally like the man now. Now I can finally, I'm 30 years old. I finally have the balls in my shorts, in my pants, to be able to tell people what to do. And that comes at an energetic level. It comes from a subconscious spiritual understanding of someone's expertise. It's like no one wants, just like if you graduate from college at the age of 22 with a bachelor's in business, you're not just going to get a job as a manager right away. You know, you have to earn that right. You have to earn that density. It's like in the gym, how Arnold talks about you have to earn that muscle density by, like, your biceps might be big just fine, but you earn those striations and you earn that muscle density by like training the same fucking muscle every fucking day. It's like you're not getting any bigger, but you earn the muscle density, right? Is like fine-tuning and tweaking every aspect of your craft to be able to tell people what to do. And that's what I'm working on right now, is I'm working on just learning everything I possibly fucking can about being the best boss that I possibly can. And when I'm 45, I'll finally be at that age where I could tell anybody what to do, because and by that point it'll be 25 years of being a full-time business owner, and rather 15 years before that of being like a part-time hustler. You know, so when I'm 45, I'm expecting like a big giant company with a bunch of people, or maybe, just maybe, it'll still be just me. Just me. Maybe that's my life. Maybe it's just me here. But I know I'm 30. I'm not going to be bossed around by some 22-year-old kid with a bachelor's degree in business. But I've also been in business for 25 years. So you earn that spiritual, like, what do they call it? Like that energetic, like, is like God at the top, right? Is like God at the top. And each level of the pyramid, your job as a CEO is to try to be like one of the rays, one of the beams of light coming from the all-seeing eye at the top that transcends the rest of the pyramid. That's what I want to be in my business. I want to be so good that I transcend being a part of the bottom 13 steps of the pyramid. I want to be like one of the rays emanating from the top level of the pyramid, the all-seeing eye, and pretty much, that's something that we just have to deal with. Young CEOs, that's just something that we just have to deal with. We have to earn that like muscle maturity of being actually an authority before we could be that authority. Otherwise, it's some fugazi bullshit.